Deep in the heart of the jungle, there lived a mighty elephant. He was big and strong. His trunk could reach high into the trees. His tusks were like polished ivory. All the animals knew him. The elephant was very proud. He thought he was the strongest animal. He often boasted about his size.
I am the best.
The other animals were afraid of him. They would quickly move out of his way. No one dared to challenge the elephant. He walked with his head held high. The elephant didn't care about the other animals. He thought they were small and weak. He would often laugh at them. The jungle echoed with his booming laughter. At the base of a giant tree, there lived a colony of ants. They were very small, but they were also very hard-working. Each day, they would carry food and build their home. The ants always worked together. They knew they were stronger as a team. Even though they were tiny, they were organized. They followed their leader and helped each other. One day, the ants were busy collecting food. They marched in a line, carrying grains of rice. They were preparing for the rainy season. Each ant carried a grain much larger than itself.
We must hurry. The rains will come soon.
The ants worked harder, focused on their task. The proud elephant was walking through the jungle. He didn't look where he was going. He was too busy thinking about himself. Suddenly, the elephant stepped on the ants' line. He crushed their food and destroyed their path. The ants were scattered.
Hey, watch where you're going.
But the elephant didn't even notice the tiny ants. He just kept walking. The ants were angry. They had worked so hard, and now the elephant had ruined everything.
He will learn a lesson.
His voice was determined. That night, the ants came up with a plan. They decided to teach the elephant a lesson. They knew they couldn't fight him with strength, but they were clever.
We will use our size to our advantage,
said the leader ant. He pointed with his tiny leg to the sleeping elephant.
We will climb on him.
The ants waited until the elephant was asleep. They quietly marched up his legs. They crawled onto his trunk. They even reached his ears. The ants were everywhere. They tickled the elephant with their tiny legs. They bit him gently with their small jaws. The elephant didn't know what was happening. The next morning, the elephant woke up. He felt strange. Something was tickling him. He tried to brush it away with his trunk. He shook his head, but nothing worked. The ants continued to tickle and bite. The elephant was miserable. He had never felt so uncomfortable. He finally realized what was happening.
It's the ants. They're tiny, but they are strong.
He looked down at the ants with new respect.
Please, I'm sorry for stepping on your food. I will be more careful next time.
The elephant was humbled. He had never apologized to anyone before. The ants saw that the elephant was truly sorry. They stopped tickling and biting him. They climbed down from his body.
We forgive you, but you must remember this lesson. Size isn't everything. We are all important in the jungle.
From that day on, the elephant was a changed animal. He was no longer proud and boastful. He learned to respect all creatures, big and small. The elephant had learned a valuable lesson. He realized that even the smallest creature can teach you something important. He had underestimated the ants and himself.